Okay, so let's do a quick print with the Eris. So first thing we do is we let's go to the machine real quick. There. Just click this button, turn it on. Oops. I must have forgotten to turn it on. From there. There we go. So we turn on the machine, and then we go back to the computer. There. Go back to our computer right there, where we have MatterControl. Now, MatterControl is really easy to use. So all we need to do is scroll down right here and find the part that you want to print. And in this particular case, I think I want to print this part right here. That's number 4, I think it was. Yeah, no, actually not this one. 5. And then we're going to tell it to connect to the printer. Let's see what happens. Sometimes it'll do it right away, sometimes you'll get this error, depending on how good your computer is. Alright, looks like it took it. So what it will do is it will heat up the extruder right there. And once this gets to about 210, it'll start printing. So while we wait, we should take a quick look at the settings. One thing that I found out that's very important is, this is recent thing that I discovered, is printer, let me see, rear retractions. So these are the new settings that I use. They're not the default settings anymore. And if you put them like this, if you change the settings to this, it won't create as much stringiness as it would on the default standard settings. You can also use the finer settings if you want, but that takes a long time. So unless you're trying to build something that's very, very refined with lots of details, I recommend you use the standard settings. What else? Sometimes if you're having trouble printing stuff, and you decide that you want to manually do a print leveling for the machine, if you go to options over here, you'll see that nothing shows up there. Now, you go to configuring settings here, but this is all advanced settings, so if you're a newbie, you don't want to be messing with any of these values. So what you can do is you can cheat, and you can choose, instead of the SeeMeCNC Eris, you can use the H2, and then if you do that, it'll pop up with software print leveling. You can use this function to make sure your leveling is absolutely perfect, for especially for the bigger prints. If you're printing really small stuff, it won't matter so much, but if you're trying to print out the really, really big parts or wide parts, then it's good to have a perfect leveling of your machine. I'm going to go back to the Eris because that's what we're printing with, and back to the part. So I'm going to start the print process again by reconnecting, because when you do change this, it disconnects your printer. Here we go. And we'll try printing something. Again, it takes a little while for this to go to the right heat setting. And since I'm printing with PLA, it'll stop around 210, and then it will start printing. Now, if you build good quality models, then whenever you want to check the layer setup, it'll be very smooth. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. So this will show you how the part will be printed step by step all the way up. Now if you decide to download some random model free model from whatever website, if the model was not done correctly, it could cause problems with your print head, and instead of printing nicely the way you saw with a systematic sort of path, it may end up slicing the model incorrectly, and then, because right there what you'll see is it'll sort of go like this, or it'll make layers going like this. But if it's done incorrectly, it might start over here, then jump over there, then do something over here, and that could mess up your print leveling. So that means that you might print one model, and then when you print it again, you have to redo the bed leveling, or worse, it could cause jamming. I mean, it's really important to have a good model in your machine. You can see that it has the 3D view here. MatterControl is really easy to use. 3D view, layer view. Let's zoom in a little bit more. If you decide you want to edit stuff, you can. Let me see, I can go on to view for a different part because I don't want to mess with the current part that's been printing. If I want to edit it, you can do rotate, scale, mirror, display, all kinds of stuff. Alright, so starting to print. Let's move to the print area.